city council, council meeting is due June 4th, 2019. I have invocation by David Walker.
First of all, good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
We bow our heads. Oh, gracious God, as we assemble here, we asking you to get in the hearts of the man and the woman. We know that man's control the mind, but God control the heart. God, we asking you to bless each individual as we stand. Bless this meeting as we about to partake and carry it on. God, we ask you to bless the leadership of this city, the council. God, renew him the right spirit. Remove all evil, racism, separation. Let us all come to be one family. Oh God, as we protect this meeting, let this meeting be in order. Let everybody have their say it in order. Bring peace to the city. Then God, bless each one as they leave. Bless their home as they go back to it. And bless us in a collective way throughout the city of Bessemer. These are the prayers we pray in Jesus' name. That's all I'll say.
Thank you, brother. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Councilman Bessemer. Councilman Hall. Councilman Crusoe. Councilman Washington.
Present.
Councilman Fitton. Present. Councilman Long. Councilman Hackett.
Present.
We have 7 present, no absent. Approval of minutes from May 14, 2019.
Correction. May 14th, 2019. No. Can we stand? Can we stand?
Typo, last word of the first paragraph, business. First paragraph, business.
Any more? Any more observations? No, can it be considered restricted?
Item 5, presentations, awards, announcements, and recognitions.
Item 6.
Committee report.
Are there any committee reports? I have one committee report, it's concerning the council finance committee, which consists of the entire council. We met on last evening, which is non-profit. The city of Bessemer, we have 7 resolutions, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, seven resolutions that we did recommend on last evening. And we will put those on the agenda. Are there any questions, comments concerning the nonprofit that we went over last week?
Mr. President,
Yes,
don't have any questions, but we're on the whole on these individuals, correct?
that's true. Do you have one?
That's an aye.
Yeah. I'll just go ahead and call out for you. One, Alabama Steel, 15,000. Two, American Red Cross, 15,000. Three, Saving Youth, 15,000. Four, Playhouse, 10,000. Five, Birmingham Regional, 5,000. All 55,000. McWayne Center, 5,000. Those are recommendations from last week. Next item is yours.
Item 7, June 4th, 2019, reading of the report, hearing date.
Good evening.
Because of the hearing date is set for the 13th in July, which is July the 16th. July 16th at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Can you say we can test it?
Yes.
Item 8, Juneteenth, freedom celebration request to use the Bar Lady Park at no cost.
Some time ago, we added on the, one of our agendas without having a lot of clarity. And, I did speak with the young lady concerning it, and I didn't know that there had been a Juneteenth in the past, because we did not come by the county. I can remember. And I did see the video, and I saw quite a few Bessemer residents on the video, and I think you all had the same turnout there. Did you all get one? Okay, if you all look at the video showing that the Bar 11 Park, there's a lot of Bessemer residents and those, a lot of Bessemer residents. There's a diverse group of people, children, and babies, like I saw a couple of babies. But anyway, they wish to use the park again, this time to include the county to their public purpose. The time that they would like to utilize the park, which is from 12 to 8 on June 19th. Any questions or comments?
Mr. President,
Yes,
should we not have a resolution going up to this effect?
I guess if we could declare a public purpose, so the attorneys can, well,
I just think it's appropriate. What we did for the Caribbean Festival this weekend, we had a resolution, and we generally have resolutions when individuals ask to use the park or any facility for free. I'm just asking that we have one on record.
as I stated, Council Marshall, I don't remember it coming to this body on last year, and I didn't have one draft because we all had to get this information. At the last meeting, we had it on the agenda in order to see if that's something that we really want to do. I don't think it'll be good. I think we'll do is to get a resolution that is pretty June 19th, 12 and 8 p.m.
I mean, Mr. President, I thought you had it on here for the purposes of voting on it. Otherwise, you know, I would have expected to see it in the planning session to talk about whether we wanted to do it or not.
I guess my question is, does anyone around the table know whether you want to do it tonight or not?
We keep going through the same process of doing resolutions on the fly, and I just think, you know, the agenda ought to have the items that we're gonna take legislative action on and vote on.
Well, there's several items that haven't been on the agenda, not just tonight, in times past. We have several that we're gonna add to the agenda. I know we have resolutions, but this is not, I don't see where it's really gonna affect the operation of government if we just add this and on there. I mean, what's gonna change between now and next week?
I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, if it's on here and, you know, you thought there was not gonna be a problem, then I would have expected to have a resolution ready
I didn't know
for
it
it.
was gonna be a problem. Now, who wants to vote on it tonight? Who don't?
I have a question.
Yeah,
Have we verified that the park is available?
she said she had.
It's not available if you make a deposit on it. It's not held. I mean, I'm sure on Wednesday at 12 o'clock, we don't hold reservations. They're asking for it for free, but what I'm saying is, we don't hold it without a deposit. So it may have been, but it may not be now. We need to know for sure that it is. Correct? Am I?
Yes, I was asking, I was told that it's available on Wednesday, the 19th, that's what I was. Is anyone here can find connecting you or see whether the park is still available? Mr. Person? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Item 9, and we'll come back.
Item 9, update on formal legislative retirement.
Even with 499 and Attorney General Court who has some questions about it, it's not clear. So I'm asking the attorneys to give us an update. Because I would hate to continue to give away money, and I wouldn't want to take anyone's money away. But I am about up to here, about hearing that it is illegal. And there's no clarity about it. And I would hope we can get to a point to where we can get some clarity about this retirement for our ex-county.
And so it's, I guess I don't understand the question. We talked last week about it, and it's the state law. Now, the only, I mean, the question I think was raised in that Attorney General's opinion, and that was the main focus of that AG's opinion, was whether it was constitutional. So, I mean, I guess, are you asking for Greg and I to opine as to the constitutionality of that state statute? Is that?
Absolutely, because we're being told it's illegal from the state. But,
well, there's been some innuendo about it being not constitutional. And I think a lot of that does come from that 1993 opinion of the Attorney General. Now, for clarity, the AG didn't declare it to be illegal, but it did suggest that it was. The only way I understand that we can, if clarity, ultimate clarity to be had, at this point it is a law, but if clarity is going to be had, there's only two ways I know to seek something. One would be to seek an opinion of the Attorney General, or otherwise that'd be a matter for the courts to decide, perhaps a declaratory judgment. That's what I think.
So are you suggesting the city file a declaratory judgment action to determine whether an act of the state of Alabama is constitutional?
I'm suggesting that the council is of the opinion that it's uneasy about whether or not it is constitutional, and asking that question, because I can't decide that question. Not to only say what I find from what the reference is. And there's been no determination by a court saying it's going to be a judge. So the only way I can get one in clarity on it is to pursue either the AG or the judge.
Well, the only way to do that, I mean, 99.9% of all laws in the state of Alabama haven't gone through a declaratory judgment action. I mean, and I would say there's a number of statutes that you can look at, probably a substantial amount, that you would say that you have questions as to whether they're constitutional or not, or legal or not. But does that warrant going through and filing a declaratory judgment action? If you file a declaratory judgment action about a state law, you're necessarily going to have to, the AG would have to be named a party.
Sure.
The Attorney General would have to be named a party. Every person that's receiving a retirement benefit would have to be named a party. Or who might receive a benefit. So I guess all 7 parties at this table might end up being a party to that litigation and having to have counsel. I mean, is that really what this body would want to do? I mean, it seems like an enormous expense.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You said state, is it Alabama League that says it's not legal, or is it someone at
It's
state,
not
a state
Alabama.
legislature state legislature that says it's illegal? I mean, who says it's illegal?
Well, we have our state legislature who tells us that it's illegal.
Okay, so we have one state legislature that
No, it's
says,
not one. No, it's not one.
well, we only have one that represents Bessemer,
There's
so.
one that represents Bessemer, but it's not one that says it's illegal. what I would ask this body to do, instead of right now filing a lawsuit.
I'm not suggesting.
Why can't we get an AG's opinion at this point in time, to get some clarity to this? Clear this thing up here, because I'm truly not clear about it.
But I think, I hear what you're saying. An AG opinion, though, is not going to give finality to this, because you're going to have people that are affected, that are receiving it, or that could receive it, that are going to be affected, and it is just an opinion. So if it is now the law, right? So if you have an AG's opinion to that effect, it's still just an opinion.
Well, I agree, it's just an opinion, and if AG opines again, it'll be a real opinion.
Yeah.
But the only way to solve that ultimately, then, if it's going to be solved, is that the only body that can make a determination on this is the court. I believe.
If someone believes that it's of the opinion that it is illegal, whoever's of the opinion that it's illegal could certainly bring that DJ action.
I don't think we should spend money to do it.
And what would it cost us? In some cases, you're about saving money, in some cases, we're spending over the bridge. Now, what would it about cost the city for this, just a ballpark?
I don't have a clue what, right now, and I'm not trying to be vague, I just tried an action in circuit court, and it was like 85 grand, and it was over a landlord-tenant dispute. So, I don't know, I don't think have some thought about that, I don't know what Greg thinks, but some of these things are running, when you're talking about parties, you're talking about 9, 10, 11, 12 parties, it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, can we actually want to think about it and come back with, a solution to do this? Because I would ask this body to get an AG's opinion, I couldn't do it right now. That would clear, I think, several of the council members' minds about this retirement. So if possible, can you all get together and
That would be a decision the council makes.
get together?
The council has to authorize it.
So the
I'm
thing is
sorry.
to get together.
The council would have to authorize the request for an opinion on the ground.
Either that or asking you and I to get together. I've got fluid in my ears and I can't hear anything.
I understand, because you just got back, I understand perfectly. I asked that the council, those councils get together and see what it is that we need to come up with. And if we have to go with an AG's opinion, I think, majority of the council would go with an AG's opinion, because I would rather close this up. Give us some closure to it, and if it doesn't, we'll just have to move to another step.
Mr. President,
Councilman.
I just don't understand why this all of a sudden is consuming so much time. If we go back and get another Attorney General's opinion, it's still just his opinion. You know, and then somebody talks about our representative says that it's illegal. I mean, does that warrant us spending hundreds of thousands, maybe, you know, for something that doesn't seem to be harming anybody? I can't really grasp what the real issue is. And all of a sudden, it's an issue.
Go ahead, you since, what you want? You Go.
It's not all of a sudden an issue.
Well, it's only been talked about the last couple of meetings.
It's not all of a sudden an issue. The issue is, we want to get some clarity. As I stated, we don't want to give away money. And I think you're the first one to say that Bessemer is not a cash cow. I think
Absolutely.
that's right.
That's right.
That's why I said
It's not a
that's
cash cow.
absolutely
And that's why we
right.
shouldn't be spending money.
Absolutely.
One of you all speak at a time.
That
We shouldn't
is
be
absolutely right.
Counsel.
We're not.
Okay.
And that is why I want to get some clarity as to, do we supposed to be spending this money? If it's legal and law, I have no problem with spending this money for whomever is receiving this money.
So you're willing to spend possibly several hundred thousands of dollars?
And we're not.
Well, you don't know that. Well,
We're not.
hundred thousands of dollars. Could be an enormous amount of money, just because you got an issue with somebody maybe getting on a yearly basis no more than, I don't know what they get, $15,000-$20,000.
No, that's not the issue I have. He can get 100,000. Just let it be legal. I don't have a problem with him getting 100,000 if it's due to him. Let it be legal. That is my problem. And I would like to let me take out of this body. And I think the majority of the council would like some closure with it. And that's good.
Mr. President. Thank you. As for this situation, for the citizens, because I don't want you all to leave here with vague information. The issue that we've encountered, we have some retired council and mayor who receives retirement benefits and never paid into it. At a convention, we were informed that it was illegal for a retired city official to receive retirement benefits that they never paid into. So as a citizen, you all ponder upon it. Wouldn't you want to know whether your tax dollars are going where they're supposed to go, or shouldn't be going somewhere that's deemed illegal? Well, so you can better understand in layman terms.
Yes.
Are we going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to save 10, 15,000? Well, perhaps this 10, 15,000 has been going on for 10, 15 years. So you can't put a price on doing what's right. You can't put a price on doing what's right, that which is just. How unfair is it for those who have worked and paid into the retirement system and walked away without it? So I just want you all to be clear on, don't get caught up in the mind game. We're here to stand for that which is right. That's what you all elected us to do.
That's right.
Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, represent.
Councilperson Nelson.
Mr. President, then I keep hearing the majority of the council and so feel this way, and so then file the lawsuit and find out. But an attorney general's opinion does not change anything. I can't stop compensating former elected officials who this city promised that if they did 16 years of service, they would receive this based on an attorney general's opinion. So, we can go back and forward with many attorney general opinions, and then if individuals is added on to that. You can't not compensate an individual. That state law, the 1973 law said and stuff there, so you have to compensate them based on 16 years of service based on the attorney general's opinion. So if if it's the wishes of this body, then yeah, pay the money and stuff to get it and stuff done, but you can't do it on the attorney general's opinion.
That's right.
Well, the only thing I think, if I may add to that is you're right, an AG opinion does not absolutely solve the issue.
Well, it can't prevent me from compensating the individual.
Well, one person, I think the rule is that where one follows the dictates of an AG opinion, even if it turns out to be wrong, I think you get credit for relying on AG's opinion. I think that's a rule.
So it would be your opinion if the AG came back and it was their opinion that the law was unconstitutional, that the city should rely on that and not pay?
What if the AG came back with the opinion that is legal?
And I don't think, again, I think it is a state law until it is not a state law. One way or the other.
Right.
So is a court competent jurisdiction is going to determine this law or not? And it is right now law, and we follow the law until it's not the law. Now, if a court says it's not the law, then you don't follow it anymore. But an AG's opinion is no more than, again, they're the constitutional laws for the state.
Yeah, but it would protect the city if the AG was wrong, it would protect the city.
As far as not paying money.
Well, you could be blamed for paying it those times you already paid.
I'm sorry.
For those times that you relied on the AG's opinion.
Seems like we're all headed to the same, because the minute you don't pay, the minute you don't pay one of the people that's getting it now, what's gonna happen? I mean, they're gonna, then the DJ's gonna be liable.
I don't know what the AG is going to, how it would rule.
Well, that's true.
But if the AG
That is
ruled,
true.
but if the AG ruled that 499 doesn't violate any part of the Constitution, then that's sort of, that ought to end it.
Well, it should, but that doesn't prevent somebody from filing a DJ action if they are of the opinion that it is illegal.
But not the city.
I'm sorry.
But not the city. The city wouldn't be, correct? The city wouldn't be filing that DJ.
Oh, okay, yeah, I agree.
The body decides to do that. When you respect things and let those who are tied, those who can, we don't want to feel like we sneak behind their back and do this. You should let me know exactly if the body decides to prevail. What's their statement?
That's only if it comes back illegal. We can say stop the money.
But we should let them know up front what we're trying to do. The whole body says this is what we're trying to do. We should let them know it's up front. This is what we're trying to do, right? Because we don't want to have them hear anything in the street.
I think that would be wrong if you're asking me. Yes.
Yeah, we need to allow them to know that the body says this is what we're gonna do. You know, there's gotta be a majority vote saying, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
And it's public matter, so you're right.
Yeah, we need to know the vote. That's a disrespect.
No problem. I didn't know if you were asking me or were you telling me?
No, I'm just saying that instead of majority, just probably go. So we know we need to
So what's your rationale?
I think, he was on the body, I stated my opinion on it. So,
I think I would actually like to vote to get an agency's opinion that would you not say that would put the city, clear the city? That would-
I think when you act in reliance upon the AG's opinion, you're in a better place. But still, that AG doesn't really, his opinion doesn't solve the issue.
Mr. President,
Mr. Councilman.
can we move on and if we want to discuss this further in planning session? I mean, we put items on here that ought to be on planning session, and we waste a lot of time back and forth. You know, if you still try to go in and get another attorney general's opinion, you just still get an opinion. So can we move on, please, sir?
We all finished with the portion. Okay. We'll come back to this.
We are going to come back to it, but we're going to put it back on. No.
Well, why would we waste time on this here rather than in a planning session? You know, I mean, this is not a planning session. Yeah.
I can't hear. It sounds like a private discussion down there.
Well,
What's
it's
the
been
question?
private discussions all over the room.
Yeah, but this one seems good. So I want to give the attorney's opinion if that's what he was given.
I wasn't asking opinion, but I think what they're trying to decide is whether they take action on tonight or at the planning session. Suggested by the council.
No, but
Well,
I
it's
can
not
speak
suggested
for
by the
me.
council.
I I would
Yeah.
like to see the original bill and the original AG's opinion so that I can read it for myself and see, what it is. That's why I would like to see it on planning session so we can discuss it. I haven't seen it yet. We've talked about it twice and I haven't seen it. It has not come before this whole body. Other people may have it that discussed it outside of council meeting, and I think that maybe just 3 people, and it could be 4, but I haven't seen it.
I'm sure, Attorney Payne was supposed to get it on the last meeting and make all of us have it.
Can we just
Did
put,
we
can
ask
we,
him to get
can we just
Yes.
put it on planning session?
Yes.
Everybody
That'd be great.
get all the documentation that's been,
Right,
requested.
yes. Yeah, we keep stumbling into meetings and items that ought to be on planning session, and look how much time we've wasted.
Item 10, status on review and recall of the first advice.
I have a question.
I don't have my phone, because I understand I got to go today.
You asked whether we could do it
Yeah.
on June 19th, reschedule it for June 19th or June 20th. And so on June, it was June 18th, which is a Tuesday, after the council session. So that would work at like, as long as we, I get ornery after we have council meeting, I don't get to eat. We can do it like 1:30, it shouldn't take that long. 1:30 on the 18th, or then the morning of Wednesday the 19th. Either one of those will work, but I would like y'all to confirm it and give me a set time. And that means if it's 9, that means 9, not 10:30.
I'm hearing down on this end, I'm hearing, the morning of the 19th, is that consensus?
At what time? Wait a minute.
10 a.m.?
Why don't we meet here and walk down to City Hall at 10?
We get 10?
Meet here at 10, right here.
All right, 10 o'clock, okay, Wednesday, June 19th, 10 a.m. This item is study.
Item 10, status on review and recall of the commercial items. Resolution authorizing payment of the company for March 2019 invoices in the amount of $38,289.
Invoices, any questions? Go ahead.
Mr. Gilbert, how does the invoice go? Do you submit the invoices to the clerk, or, because I remember last week before last, you stated that the bookkeeper didn't get you the invoices on time for the October invoice?
Typically, this bookkeeper sends them to us so that we can get them to Ms. Coleman by 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon.
So the invoices go straight to your office?
They also go,
They go to the.
I thought they go to the
Okay, it
clerk.
goes to her too.
So it goes to you first and then to the clerk?
No, this one right here, Ellen would know more now.
Okay,
Same time.
explain the process.
Same time, she delivers them to you and she walks and within that same time. By the department
And the mayor.
and mayor.
Because I know you said on the record that they got into your office.
They
Late,
did
the
have
book,
it.
the bookkeeper got into your office late the last time, the October.
What I said was the October, there was an invoice from October 2018 that we had not gotten
And I said, why are we paying for October 2018?
because they didn't get it to us.
And you said the bookkeeper just got it to me, and
That's
I was unaware that you get the invoices first. I thought it goes to the clerk's office. I'm just asking the process, being that I'm just here for that. I'm just asking the process.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we prepared agenda items to send to the city council that we send to Angela, and that's one of them that we send to.
So you get the invoices.
We get them, and I guess,
This mayor and mayor's office.
Same time.
So we get them so that we can prepare resolutions.
Anyone else? What's the pleasure on item 11? Consent.
Council call.
For the prayer, on item 11. Next item, table 12.
Resolution authorizing emergency bridge culvert foundation repair for 14th Avenue, being 19944.
This is 14th Avenue and Cedar Hill, here, drive behind Westlight, is that what it is?
Yes, sir. It's the culvert there that goes under the creek. The water had washed out part of the foundation on the bridge culvert on one side. And in between, there was a large corrugated metal pipe that was installed beside the culvert. Just washed the dirt out in between those, and the road had collapsed. The city public works department dug it out. It was beyond what they could repair. So we felt like it was an emergency repair. Of course, we discussed it with Mr. Hatter. He agreed, so we got a price from a contractor to make the repair, and that's what's before council. It'll take digging part of that culvert out, pumping concrete under the existing foundation where it's washed out, because there's still some rock under there. The bridge is not destroyed or damaged, the bridge itself. So we can get concrete up under the foundation, I think, and save the bridge.
Give them up.
On the backside of the mall. Now, from the main street, now, you got one.
How long have we been working on this? On this ditch?
On the bridge,
I'm sorry, ditch. How long have we been working on this bridge?
well, it's happened since the last council meeting, so we had to get it claimed an emergency. So we had to come back before council before we could do anything as far as repair.
Mr. President.
Yes.
So work has been done, to this bridge. We've had problems with this bridge previously, is that what I'm gathering? This is a question.
First problem that we're aware of.
This first incident we've had with this bridge.
Yes. I guess Lawrence and them dug it out. then they discovered it was something that they didn't feel like they could repair, so we got a quote from a contractor. That is what you have it for.
I'm just understanding, state trial.
Council, what's your pleasure on this item? Item 12.
Consent. Consent.
Mr. President, may I go back and ask one question to Mr. Gilbert? Mr. Gilbert, this is not about the bridge. Let me ask the question. Is this the same thing that happened on Third Avenue between 18th and 19th Street? Is that the same thing? The utilities got so far in there they couldn't do anything and we had to bring Spire in. Is that what happened at the sidewalk up here? Let me show you something.
Well, I'm not aware, the sidewalk project is a different project,
That's what I said, it's a
Street
different
shade
project, but I
project.
saw this and I was wondering, was that the same? Because I see that so much concrete is being poured up under there. Is this the same right here?
Yes, that's all part of the project.
Okay, that's,
That would be a drain, that would be I believe that right there is a conduit when we run the water line through, but there's gonna be a water meter out there, and that's
Right.
serving the building.
that's what I saw right
associated.
there. Mhm. That's exactly what I saw, and I was wondering, was that kind of like what you're talking about?
No, ma'am, it's different.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, before you go on to the next item, obviously, discussing bridge, you didn't discuss what funding was going to come and stuff from in order and stuff to repair the bridge. And so if you no misunderstanding, it will have to come out of the gas tax funds that I gave you all a copy of the last meeting as well.
And that's the only source of,
I have no other sources of revenue for it to come out of other than gas tax.
May I ask a question, Mr. President? Seeing that we have, where we, let me see, I saw it. Okay, I was gonna suggest that.
$32,560. So what does that leave in the, as of the 215 that was voted on and passed by the majority of the council? Where does that leave us in balance on debt?
I don't know if you recall, I gave all of you all a copy of it, so I would just say that number is up from the 215 and 32,000 is up from that number. Where we are. I could, but I don't have it with me either.
It's 215.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
I see that from the pictures which have been presented, that, this is an emergency as for not only District 1, but for the citizens of Bessemer. But I do raise a question, as you have, as to us possibly, trying to figure out some other place to pull the funds from, because it's not fair. Citizens to better understand, when you call your city councilor concerned about the potholes or when your streets want to get paved, this is where the money comes from, out of your gas taxes. Our concern as councilors is, as far as in looking at the balance that we received on last week, and I can't remember the direct numbers. As your individual councilors, we're trying to see where the numbers are. So when you call saying that the street in front of your house or 2 streets over, that you're tired of, busting your tires going home, as far as in repaving, that's the pot that we have to spend now. So we're trying to be more accountable as to knowing what's in it and where it's going. We're asking that these funds try to find another way for us to come up with it. We're not trying to get away from paving this road, because, like I said, looking at the pictures, it is in dire need and it is a necessity. It poses a lot of danger for our citizens. We're not in the business as far as in putting you all in harm's way. It's just a matter of trying to, like I said, find a way to get these funds from another place so people in District 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 will have some money in our own accounts, whereby we can come and do paving in our individual districts. That's what we're concerned with right now. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, is this the only bid that we got for that job? Is this the only one we got because it was emergency?
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
I was in emergency. If we go to bid, we got to recruit as contractors, we got to advertise. That's only the claims is emergency. And that is a good price. We did check it out. It was competitive.
Now, I thought we had consented this item, but we're still talking about it.
Because after the consent, that's when we found out where the money was coming from, which wasn't discussed before the consent, if you don't mind.
And that's exactly correct, and I see the finance director saying not give us that balance. And I know we did get that on the last meeting, but I was just trying to see how much will be left in the gas tax after the 215 and the 32.5.
I will be doing that with you, like we did with you.
Ryan, do you have a copy of some of the, do you have a copy of the sheet that I distributed or so on last week concerning gas tax dollars?
I'll see if I can find it.
I should bring that copy down there. We do have the 32,560 in here, and I think it's important enough on that stretch of road to repair it. You all want to go upstairs or consent? I'll wait till you get it out.
You can get the
Move on to item 13.
Item 13, approval on second reading. Clerk of the County Office.
Anyone have
Mr.
any
President,
questions?
it can't be a second reading because that was an old resolution. It was the bill from 2017 that was listed. And the legislature is out of session already for this year.
Well, we'll just vote on it upstairs.
I'm just saying, it's not the same one. I mean, that was from 2017. The bill that you, or the resolution that you gave us had all the information from 2017. It was not the same bill because I looked it up and it was like 565 that Representative Alexander had presented, or is still in committee. It never came out of committee. So, and it was just to support that bill. It wasn't for the council to hire somebody to support that bill. But it's the wrong bill, I'm saying. The one that we read last time was the wrong bill. So it can't be a second reading of a bill that was wrong to begin with. So if we get a new one, if we can do a first reading.
Well, it could be a second reading of that ordinance, be it right or wrong, whatever, but it would be the second reading of that resolution. You know, that resolution was read at special meeting last week.
But we didn't get the bill that Representative Alexander submitted. We don't know what it says.
Okay, that's different argument, yeah. But I mean, it would be the second reading.
It could be a second reading, but it's not the same bill. It's a totally different bill, and we don't have a copy of it.
What about the resolution?
It would be the second reading of the resolution.
To support.
And yeah,
To support. To support House Bill 363. Your email said all attached, please find a copy of House Bill 363 and a proposed resolution. That was on May 22nd. That's what was read. So the resolution was a resolution in support of House Bill 363. Do you have a copy of that resolution?
I don't have it with me. I don't have my phone.
I have my phone. It'll pull up the bill, but it won't pull up the resolution. So I need to get a copy of it and see exactly what it said.
And also at that meeting, it was stated that we, the council, need to determine whether that was a resolution of permanent nature. And our non-legal minds, we said, yes, it seems like it.
That's correct.
But I found out later that it's not.
So it's your opinion. You make the decision whether it is or not. So.
Well, I want to do it based on the law. I want to do it.
I hear that.
And that's what I'm basing on.
I think ultimately, though, it's not the council, and I hear that, but I don't think it's the council that determines whether or not a ordinance or resolution is one of a permanent nature. It either is.
Well, I would agree with that. It either is of a permanent nature or it's not of a permanent nature. So if it is of a permanent nature, it has to have 2 readings. If it's not one, it doesn't. I would agree with that. But I think you have to make a determination whether you are of the opinion that it is one of permanent nature. So if it is, you got to do the first reading, second reading.
Can you send me? Oh, I mean. This one says, whereas the City Council of the City of Bessemer, Alabama, a Class 5 municipality, organized under Chapter 43D of Title 11, Code of Alabama 1975, believes that the provision of House Bill 363, if adopted, would assist it in carrying out its responsibilities and thereby enhance its performance and effectiveness as a governing body.
And what I'm saying is House Bill 363 is a bill dated March 7th of 17 that was introduced in the 2017 legislature. The bill that was introduced into this legislature was House Bill 635.
565.
Okay.
535.
No, let me look.
I tried to pull it up. The reason I was pulling it up was to see if the assistance had been changed. And I couldn't, I was like, there wasn't a 363.
It is House Bill 635
635.
that was introduced into the 19 legislature.
Well, there may be some differences in which bill. I mean, I pulled down and I got what he has a bill. Whatever it is, that still would be, this resolution coming up today is the second reading of that resolution.
That would be a correct statement.
So do we have a resolution that we can change to this number, and do we know if it got changed to assistant instead of assistance?
It would just be a resolution based, the
Supporting
reading,
it.
well, the reading would be based on that.
It would be based on 363.
Yes.
Okay. In support of 363. Okay.
So we'll vote upstairs?
Yes, sir.
Item 14, Ms. Clerk.
Resolution approving Pipe Shop Day on Saturday, August 31st, 2019.
I received a call from the representative that that's in charge of the Pipe Shop Day, and we have that resolution. Does anyone have a problem with declaring Saturday, August 31st, 2019 Pipe Shop Day on McNeil Park? Can we consent it?
Yes.
Item 15, resolution requiring quarterly review of CDBG expenditures by category.
It was last meeting, and we decided to go back, and we did pass it, fine, whatever. But anyway, I must agree with the mayor. I know he's not all out of his chair, but I must agree with him. We send him so much information all at one time. And this is why I think this resolution would be wonderful. We wouldn't have to send everything to him at one time, because we'll all have it, and we won't have to wait on him to take people from here, there, everywhere, trying to assist us. We'll already have this information in a timely manner, and we won't have to, at the end of the year, rush, and try to do everything. So, on last meeting, we did need to table it until we, rewrite the resolution, we rewrote it. And, I did think about what you said, Counselor, Big Pen. And if you notice, as I told you, I don't demand, I do request and or ask. And I'm doing it in a nice way. Not just me, but I'm speaking in a very pleasant tone of voice. But I think he is right. We overwhelm his office with this stuff. So if indeed we can vote on this resolution, we won't have to overwhelm his office. All we have to do is go into our offices and pull the information that he has already given us.
Anyone else?
Mr. President,
Councilman Martin?
this is still not saying that you're requesting information from the mayor. And what do you mean you desire to conduct a quarterly progress review.
You asked me to turn to the address.
I'm asking, yeah, what do you mean conduct? Who's gonna conduct it? The quarterly review?
City council.
Is that the city council's role?
I think under 1143, was it 56, 57? I think it was.
Okay, but how would the city council conduct it? That's what I'm asking. Are they going into the department and look at records? Or is the request, or should the request be to the mayor's office? I mean, he's the administrator. I'm just asking for clarity. He's the administrator. Do we have the authority to go into a department and conduct a review of any information without going through the mayor's office?
I think if you're going to conduct a review, you have to bring the information to some central point for whoever's going to go over it and go through it to examine. I think that's what it's agreed.
I did see on here where it says, whereas the city council of the city of Bessemer, Alabama has authorized the mayor of the city of Bessemer, Alabama, and I think that was said off top, the mayor of the city of Bessemer. And if you're going to, I'm sorry, Mr. President, I do apologize. If we're going to review, it would come to this table. It would come right to this table, and all of us will get an opportunity to see it right here on this red table.
Mr. President, well, only thing I see authorizing the mayor was to sign the 2019 annual action plan. It doesn't say anything about him.
I'm sorry, that was drifting.
No, I wasn't. No, I was making a comment. No. This is saying authorizing the mayor to sign the action plan. I'm still confounded with, it's still a request, in my opinion, that has to go through the mayor's office in order for the information to be provided. I don't see that the council has the authority to go into that area and request any information.
I don't see it as a council requesting, telling who to compile what. I think it's just the council saying it's going to conduct a review of the
But what do you mean? What do you mean conduct? I mean, are you going to look at records? I mean, explain to me, my little mind, what does conduct mean in this sense? Somebody's got to gather the information.
I think the plain meaning of the word conduct means to go through it and examine it.
So you're saying that council should have the power to go into that department and to have those department members to make available to them documentation to look at?
That's not what he's saying.
Well, tell me what conduct in this case means.
Well, I think he just did.
No, he
I'm
didn't.
not the council, so I mean.
No, he didn't.
Board game, I would ask, this has already been discussed. We've already voted once, and we've already tabled it once. I would ask the president, just let us vote, say, let you vote for your voice.
No.
When are we voting on?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have two.
No, you should have one, because remember we said the other one down.
Well, this one was in my paper, so I have no idea. It might not have been in anybody else's, but it was in mine.
I don't have it.
I want to hear from the other attorney. I mean,
Attorney, do you have anything to say?
I think it's better to say that the city council requests, number one, that mayor provide quarterly progress review. You have to say that, rather than, because it says the city council will conduct, it almost seems like the council's going to conduct an audit.
Absolutely. It says what it says, and we can twist that word a bit.
I'm not twisting one.
Okay.
I'm just saying, If he asked my opinion, and my opinion would be that the city council of the city of Bessemer requests that the mayor provide a quarterly progress review. That's all I'm saying. It's say it a little differently rather than that. That's all I'm saying. They got the work done. City council of the city of Bessemer requests that the mayor provide a quarterly progress review. Da-da-da-da. That's it. Or when it says conduct, it appears to me that you're saying you're going to conduct it. What Councilman Marshall
They would
said.
be conducted if they sat down and went through it and they talked about the findings or whatever. That would be conducted, no?
I hear you. I understand. I'm just saying, I think it would be better just to say that the city council requests the mayor should provide a quarterly progress. How do you want to say it? Yeah. I mean, how do you want to say it, you know? I'm just saying, request the mayor to do it as opposed to we'll just be done.
One final statement. So, if we get into this mode of the city council, what's next to stop the city council to say we want to go in the finance department and we want to conduct a review of, you know, the documentation in that department, rather than respecting the role of the mayor as the administrator of the city to go through the mayor's office and request what it is we want. We don't have, in my opinion, we don't have the authority to go into departments and conduct any review of any documentation unless it's first, you know, requested of the mayor. And we still don't have the authority to go in and do it, but the request needs to go through the mayor's office.
Mr. President.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Mr. President, I think all of us know and understand the administrative and legislative form of government that we voted to take in and such to do. I really don't hear a resolution that says one way or the other. I'm gonna get this up with my department here, as long as I'm not violating any federal and sub law when it comes to that. You know, we'll sit down and we'll do and stuff what we think and stuff is adequate on the federal law and stuff to provide. So, you know, it don't matter the tricks of words and stuff that plays around the table and stuff now. You know, whether it's conduct or whether it's request or whatever game you want to play, it don't really matter and stuff because I'm gonna sit down with my department here and they can do and stuff what and stuff is required and stuff of me under federal law.
Go ahead.
The resolution would be amended to read as follows in paragraph number 1. City Council of the City of Bessemer requests that the mayor provide the 2019 CDBG action plan and expenditures, invoices and requisitions for review by the City Council. And on those days.
That's the way it should be written.
Okay, we'll vote in favor of my description. And some of these changes that we just read. And earlier, we did talk about the nonprofit, and that one, we like to add that to this item.
Okay. No, President is speaking.
15A through G. Okay?
A through G?
That's correct.
There's 7 of them.
Okay?
Mr. President, while we're here, quick question. Attorney Payton, were you able to provide a copy of your contract? The city,
The city clerk would have it. It's the one that goes back to 2014.
but I know the last time we spoke on it, you were gonna provide it for us. I mean, because I don't have to go through.
I mean, I did, when I left here the other day, I went out of the country, I will get you that, we'll get you that copy. Do I have
Yes, sir.
Ms. Patterson?
Thank you all.
And there was one other thing, y'all wanted to, Act 499. Act number 499, right?
You got
There you
that.
have it.
Okay.
Why?
I was told I needed to provide that. And I said I would provide it, I didn't. So we'll have that for y'all.
That'll be fine. Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Okay, we'll see y'all instead. Good evening. Welcome to the Bessemer City Council meeting. It's now 7:45 p.m. We will have invocation by Mr. Russell, David Russell, and pledge by Council Johnson.
Good evening to everyone. Everyone to bow their head, please. Oh, grateful God, as we assemble here, we asking you to come into the midst. We know that man controls the mind, but God, you control the heart. Get into the heart of each elected official today, Father. Get in their heart, make sure that they take care of the entire vessel. Not just on one side of the town, but the whole entire city. God, you made us in your own image. And God, we have to do those things which is good to you. We ask you to bless each individual who comes tonight, make sure that they're traveling grace, they can make it back home safe. Give them grace. God bless the leadership of the city.
Yes, sir.
Give him a clean heart,
Yes, yes,
open mind.
yes.
As we said, God, you know, you deal with the heart. Man deal with the mind. These are the blessings we ask in your son Jesus' name we pray. That's all I'll say.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Ms. Page.
Council Alexander. Council Collier.
Present.
Council Crusoe. Council Marshall.
Present.
Council Pickens. Present. Council Donald. Present. Council Matthews.
Present.
7 present, no absent, you have a quorum.
Item 5, please.
Presentation, awards, announcements, and recognition.
Right, right.
Mr. President, you and the entire council and all who are present here, I've got a few items I want to mention this evening. First, I did want to inform you all, let you all know that the date in question for Juneteenth day in the park is still available for that day. On the item concerning the request of what was left in the gas tax fund after the $215,000 was taken away, and the $32,000 is left for balance in that account of $244,163.
No.
Also, just wanted to inform everyone, and if your schedule is up will allow, come out and support one of our downtown businesses. They're having a summer block party. It's the Paisley Pig on 2nd Avenue, Saturday, June the 8th, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Downtown here on 2nd Avenue. Also, Chambers Funeral Home will have its 8th annual Fun Day extravaganza. It is also on this Saturday from 10 a.m. from 12 noon to 5 p.m. And they got a location change this year. They'll be having their extravaganza at Bessemer Park and Recreation Center, at the rec center. So let's go out and support in our two businesses here in the city of Bessemer. Also, I want to commend the coordinators of the Caribbean festival that we had here this past weekend. It was a festival like I have not seen in the city of Bessemer. It was a great success. It was outstanding. I want to thank the coordinators of the Caribbean Festival for bringing it to Bessemer. I also want to thank my staff, Terrain Norris and Chief Roper and Brian Persons for working and stuff with that organization to bring this to Bessemer. As a matter of fact, it was initially supposed to be in the city of Birmingham, and when they changed their mind, they had two months to put this festival together. I'd already told them no, and then they came back and told me that they can do it, Mr. Mayor. So it was an outstanding festival. It was an outstanding job to our employees. Well done. And we're looking forward and stuff to having them back next year and stuff as well. Hopefully this can be an annual thing in the city of Bessemer. I don't know what that issue was with Birmingham. I really don't care. But it was a real success for the city of Bessemer. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone else?
Mr. President,
Yes, please.
you mentioned retirement. Are you planning to mention the retirement? Bill.
Thank you, Connie. Yes, our public works supervisor, Mr. Bill McLaughlin, officially retired on this past Friday. Those of you that's been around a while probably knew Bill McLaughlin. He's been with the city of Bessemer for 38 years. He decided it was time and stuff to give it up. We tried and stuff to convince him to have a little something and stuff for him and stuff, but he declined. His department, Lawrence and stuff, our acting interim public works superintendent, and his office and stuff did give him a very good send-off on this past Friday as well. I just want to wish Bill and stuff a very well-deserved retirement, and after 38 years and stuff, it's very deserving. So we do wish him the best, but we do look forward and stuff to moving forward as I said. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Anyone else have any announcements or presentation? I think everyone that attended the Caribbean Festival. I think everyone that I definitely did, especially the oxtail. They were delicious. So looking forward to having it again investment on next year. Item 6, Mr. Clerk.
Committee report.
Any committee reports? I have one, and that would be the nonprofit that we will be voting on, that the council met with the nonprofit, some of the nonprofit applicants on yesterday evening, and we will vote on those tonight. Can we entertain the consent agenda?
Mr. President,
Councilman,
I would like to add item 4. Item 7. Item 14.
It's been moved by Council Jones and second by Council Alexander. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Davis.
Council Alexander. Council Collier. Council Crusoe. Council Marshall. Council Fitton. Council Donald. Council Matthews.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Item 8, Ms. Davis. Read the consent agenda.
The consent agenda is as follows. Item 4, approval of minutes from May 14, 2019. Item 7, June 4, 2019, reading report, set hearing date. The hearing is scheduled for July 16, 2019 at 10 o'clock a.m. Item 14, resolution approving pipe shop day on Saturday, August 31st, 2019. Those are your consent agenda items.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Now, item 8.
Item 8, June 10th, Freedom Celebration request to use the Bartlett Park at no cost. Would you like to read the resolution?
Yes, I think that would be appropriate for Shelley.
Whereas Ariane Fountain has requested use of the Bartlett Park on Wednesday, June 19, 2019, between the hours of 12 o'clock p.m. and 8 o'clock p.m. to host a Juneteenth Foundation celebration. Whereas the City Council of the City of Bessemer finds and determines that permitting Ariane Fountain use of the Bartlett Park on Wednesday, June 19, 2019, to host an event of historical significance and public amusement serves a valid and sufficient public purpose, and that it has for its objective the promotion of public health, safety, moral security, prosperity, contentment, and the general welfare of the community, and as such serves a public purpose. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Bessemer, Alabama as follows, that the City Council hereby authorize Ariane Fountain use of the Bartlett Park on June 19, 2019, between the hours of 12 o'clock p.m. and 8 o'clock p.m. to host a Juneteenth Freedom Celebration. This resolution shall become effective immediately upon the adoption as required by law.
Mr. President,
Council Marshall.
I move approval of the resolution.
It's been moved by Council Marshall, second by Council Crusoe and Dawn. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Council Alexander. Council Collier. Council Crusoe. Council Marshall. Council Fitton. Council Donald. Council Matthews. 7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Item 11, Ms. Taylor.
Resolution authorizing payments to EDFS Company for March 2019 invoices in the amount of $38,289.49.
Mr. President,
Council Marshall.
I move the approval of the resolution.
Second. It's been moved by Council Marshall, second by Council Collier. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Council Alexander. Council Collier. Council Crusoe. Council Marshall.
Aye.
Council Fitton. Council Donald.
No.
Council Matthews. 4 ayes, 3 nays, the motion carries.
Item 12, Ms. Taylor.
Resolution authorizing emergency bridge cover foundation repair for 14th Avenue, Bend 19944.
Mr. President,
Council Marshall.
I move the approval of the resolution.
It's been moved by Council Marshall, second by Council Collier. Any discussion on the motion?
And, well, I have one discussion. In pre-council meeting, we were, asking about the balance on the gas tax that, we have, that we normally use for, paving in our neighborhood. And on our last council meeting, we had, the majority of the council saw fit to, approve $215,000 plus, this $32,560. And I see Miss Claudia Ellen out there that, was at the meeting, a little over a year ago, concerned about the, well, the last meeting you were at. I concurred with you and some of the other residents in the area about the condition of your roads. And I did give you my word that I could not, that I would continue to hopefully watch the gas tax grow so we can use it on the street that you live on and some of the other ones that's there. And I do concur, it would make Academy Drive look better and contiguous with the other pavement. I can't say that. But prior to that, I had given my word that I would support the gas tax building up so we could use it in the neighborhoods. And to that end, I had to vote no on the money being used somewhere else because and that was my vote and my word that I gave. So that being said, this $32,560 will also come out of that fund, and I would have to agree that it'll be best used for that road because in that cover behind Westlake Mall where a lot of traffic goes, notwithstanding that $215,000, I couldn't go with that one. But I will go with this $32,000. So to that end, I don't mind voting for this $32,560. And that ends my discussion on that. Okay. Roll call.
Councilor Alexander. Aye. Councilor Collier.
Aye.
Councilor Crusoe.
Aye.
Councilor Marshall.
Aye.
Councilor Pickens.
Aye.
Councilor Donald.
Aye.
Councilor Mayfield.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Item 13.
Approval on second reading for clerical assistance in council's office.
Council.
That resolution went through at the section. Well, I can say this,
Wait, you gonna read the resolution, or that's what I do? Oh, do you have a resolution? What else? I didn't want any discussion, I thought.
No, I wasn't going to get into discussion, Mr. President.
Okay. We want to get this resolution, come back to this item.
Let's come back to this item.
Okay, we'll come back to item 13 then in order for the resolution to be read.
Mr. President, can I make a comment?
Sure.
I'd like to put this off
this council, but our council body voted in 2017 against the support of House Bill 363. Is that correct?
Majority of, it was a 4-3 vote.
But we didn't, it wasn't. That resolution passed. So we have a resolution on the books that was against it. So we have.
About 4-3 vote.
Yes. So now, are we not gonna have to repeal that resolution or amend that resolution?
It didn't pass.
It did pass then. Did it have to be more than 4-3?
I believe it was 4-3 vote. I don't remember, I know it passed.
I thought it passed.
The original one, that she's speaking of, on the prior year.
No, go ahead. I was just trying to.
Repeal that resolution to pass a new
I
one?
think that resolution died of its own cause. It wasn't a permanent, in my opinion, it wasn't a permanent resolution, and it said for that year, and it had no effect afterwards.
I'm just
I don't
asking,
think
I don't
that
have a
would be-
copy of it, so I remembered that we voted against that House bill. So now we're gonna vote on the same House bill that's not, I mean, it's a moot point, it's not even the same bill that, it's the same bill from 2017, it's not a bill from 2019. Is that correct?
That's my understanding at this point. That the real actual number is
635.
635.
Can we table this till next week and discuss it, find out more?
Or off consent for changing the number of 635.
We can change, I think people like to change the number to 635 and move on.
Did we find out if it got changed to assistant instead of assistants?
That's stipulation as well. You're saying if not passed, it's voted, that's stipulation.
I mean, I know
Is that
that
right?
Councilor Donald said she was gonna get it changed, but it didn't.
I said I was going to speak with the representative to see if we could change it. And I have spoken with the representative.
It never came out of committee and they are out of session now, so that bill can't be passed.
Mr. President, can we go ahead and move on from?
Move on into, voting on the resolution, please. And the resolution needs to be read.
This is a resolution in support of House Bill 635 of the 2019 regular session of the Alabama Legislature. Whereas the City Council of the City of Bessemer, Alabama supports measures which enhance the performance and effectiveness of local government bodies in the state of Alabama. Whereas House Bill 635 in the 2019 regular session of the Alabama Legislature by State Representative Louise Alexander and others relating to classified municipalities or localities organized under Chapter 43D of the Code of Alabama 1975 would amend Section 1143D-14 of the Code to authorize City Council by ordinance to provide for the employment of a clerical assistant for the City Council. Whereas the City Council of the City of Bessemer, Alabama, a classified municipality organized under 43D-11, believes that believes that the provision of House Bill 635, if adopted, will assist in carrying out its responsibilities and thereby enhance its performance and effectiveness as a governing body. Now, therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Bessemer, Alabama, that it hereby expresses its support of House Bill 635 and the objective therein, and respectfully urges the members of the Alabama Legislature to vote in favor of passage thereof.
Mr. President.
Council Jones.
That we approve House Bill 363, Resolution 565.
Approve the resolution.
The resolution is up.
It's been moved by Council Dahl and second by Council Alexander. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. President,
Council Marshall.
we continue to beat this horse. And, without proper discussion, you know, we haven't sat in planning session and really truly determined that there's an assistant needed. You know, we have someone in that office who does, in my opinion, an amazing job, gets the work done. Packets are never late. She's always attentive to her job. So I don't understand who's been there and seen so much activity that says that we ought to be looking at an assistant in that office. You know, we haven't talked about the duties, we haven't talked about pay, we haven't talked about number of days, we haven't talked about anything that would really quantify the workload and say that that's needed. I mean, that's ludicrous. That's putting it out there before you even study the situation to see if there's any meaning to it or that it's valid in any way. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else?
Mr. President,
Councilman.
and I'm not going to say anything else about it. There has been discussion. There has even been days out saying that we would allow the council secretary to pick the young lady, the days that the person will work during the week. And as I stated once before, it is not fair to that secretary that we tell her when to take her days that she appeared. If she appeared those days, she should be able to take those days, and our office is not left unmanned. If she wants to take her days from November to January 1 and she has those days, she should take those days. And our office should still have someone there to answer the phone, to do what's necessary. She shouldn't have to come back in on her days off, her vacation, to do any of that. Yes, it is 7 of us, and yes, we do need an assistant part-time in that office.
Any more discussion?
Mr. President.
For anyone that haven't spoken? Councilman.
Okay, that's why we have an up-to-date telephone system. Nobody's trying to tell Ms. Coleman when she can be off or when she can't be off. If she earns the time, she has a right to take it whenever she chooses. But to talk about needing the office man, it's not like we have a horde, well, we all part-time. You know, none of us are in our office every day, all day. And it's not like there's a herd of people coming to the council office. And then we've got a telephone system that really works. You know, there are some companies that don't even have a switchboard operator. It's all automated to get to whoever they want to get to. All we've got to do when we know that Ms. Coleman's going to be on vacation is simply have Vonda to transfer the call to our telephone, put our personal greeting on, saying that we're not in the office, but if you need to reach me, give the cell phone number. So why does the person need to be there? And then, have you ever heard of cross training? Perhaps the mayor might find the opportunity to have someone who can do packets when Ms. Coleman is not there. I mean, so I don't get it. I mean, I'm slow, you know, I understand that. I don't get it.
Anyone else? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Councilor Alexander. Councilor Collier. Councilor Crusoe. Councilor Marshall.
Nay.
Councilor Thigpen. Councilor Donald. Councilor Matthews.
Aye.
4 ayes, 3 nays, the motion carries.
Mr. President, I know the item has passed. Go ahead. Go see.
Is it concerned item we just voted on?
Yeah.
Can you hold that until council members' comments, statements, and motions?
I will.
Thank you. Item 15,
Resolution requiring quarterly review of CDBG expenditures by category.
can we read the one that has been doctored on?
You just read the changes, or you want the resolution read?
The one that was changed is what's done, that put the word requested.
The changes that the city council of the city of Bessemer requests that mayor provides the 2019 CDBG annual action plan of expenditures, including invoices and requisition made in furtherance of said plan as follows. A, within 10 days of August 31st, 2019. B, within 10 days of November 30th, 2019. C, within 10 days of February 29th, 2020. And D, within 10 days of May 31st, 2020. That's what I have.
That sounds like what was said downstairs. If it's council vote necessary.
Mr. President.
Council Jones. It's been moved by Council Dahl and seconded by Council Crusoe. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Council Alexander. Aye. Council Collier. Aye. Council Crusoe. Aye. Council Marshall.
Aye.
Council Thigpen.
Aye.
Council Donald. Aye. Council Matthews.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Okay, item 15, A through G. We will start at A, please.
Item 15A, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Bessemer to enter into a contract with Alabama STEM Education Incorporated in the amount of $15,000.
Thank you. Council vote yes. Moved by Council Thigpen, seconded by Council Donley. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Council Alexander.
Aye.
Council Collier.
Aye.
Council Crusoe.
Aye.
Council Marshall.
Aye.
Council Thigpen.
Aye.
Council Donald.
Aye.
Council Matthews.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Please.
Item 15B, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Bessemer to enter into a contract with the American Red Cross in the amount of $15,000.
Mr. President,
Council Marshall.
I move approval of the resolution.
It's been moved by Council Marshall, seconded by Council Donley. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Council Alexander.
Aye.
Council Collier.
Aye.
Council Crusoe.
Aye.
Council Marshall.
Aye.
Council Thigpen.
Aye.
Council Donald.
Aye.
Council Matthews.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries. Item 15C, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Bessemer to enter into a contract with Save the Youth Incorporated in the amount of $15,000.
Mr. President,
Council Donley.
make a motion to approve this resolution.
Been moved by Council Donley, seconded by Council Alexander. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Council Alexander. Council Collier. Council Crusoe. Council Marshall.
Nay.
Council Seaton. Council Donald. Council Matthews.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 nay, the motion carries. 15D, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Bessemer to enter into a contract with Bessemer Cutoff Advocacy Center in the amount of $10,000.
Council Dolan. Moved by Council Dolan, second by Council Crusoe. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Council Alexander. Council Collier. Council Crusoe. Council Marshall.
Aye.
Council Seaton. Council Donald. Council Matthews.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
E.
Item 15E, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Bessemer to enter into a contract with Birmingham Regional EMS System in the amount of $5,000.
Mr. President,
Council Dolan.
motion to have this resolution. Second.
Moved by Council Dolan, second by Council Alexander. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Council Alexander.
Aye.
Council Collier. Council Crusoe. Council Marshall.
Aye.
Council Seaton. Council Donald. Council Matthews.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Bill.
15F, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Bessemer to enter into a contract with the Bessemer Hall of History in the amount of $5,000.
Mr. President,
Council Marshall.
I move the approval of the resolution.
Moved by Council Marshall, second by Council Dolan. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Council Alexander.
No.
Council Collier. Council Crusoe. Council Marshall.
Aye.
Council Seaton. Council Donald. Council Matthews.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 nay, the motion carries.
G.
15G, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Bessemer to enter into a contract with the McLean Science Center in an amount of $5,000.
Mr. President, I move we approve the resolution.
Been moved by Councilor Thigpen, seconded by Councilor Dolan. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Council Alexander. Council Collier. Council Crusoe. Council Marshall. Council Seaton. Council Donald. Council Matthews.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Item 16, Ms. Taylor.
Council members' comments, statements, or motions?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Any council member have any, comments, statements, or motions?
Mr. President,
Council Marshall.
I have 2 items. One, you know, we all have a right on this dais to ask any question that we need to ask and get clarity. But I think we get on dangerous ground when we start getting too deep on the edge when it comes to trying to micromanage to a degree department heads. And particularly, for example, in the case of the engineering group, I'll pick that as one. Do you understand and realize the negative impact it could have on the continued growth of this city if we frivolously sit here and vote not to pay the engineer. And that's not to say we don't ask questions, but many of the projects, like these streetscape, the project paving going on here, deny, paying the invoices that are legitimate invoices from the engineer would be a travesty and would start setting this city back, and we need to be moving forward. Let me go back to my concern about an assistant, a clerical assistant. Now, I always thought under the Mayor Council Act that the mayor of the city did the hiring and firing of employees. And then secondly, you're talking about an assistant. Who's going to reprimand? 7 people going to try to reprimand? 7 people going to try to do an evaluation? 7 people going to make a decision to fire that person? 7 people are going to call the shots on what the day-to-day activity is going to be? I'm through.
Anyone else? If not, Attorney Payton. And to the council, there was something happened in Argo, I think, Coyote killed a cat and a couple of them is missing. And we do have some in the Carriage Hills area. And at the next council meeting, I was like, I'm gonna get you a map, and I hope that wildlife did some, made some, I guess, some progress on the raccoons that was played in the Smith Island area. And I did mention about the coyotes that the city caught in the trap, and it wasn't, I think they were, the coyote was released, where I don't know, because we don't have the capability of housing coyotes and the expertise of capturing them and doing anything else, but I do have a map now since it originated on the old golf course. That's where old Cedar Creek golf course, that's where the coyote originated at. And he went from there through Pastor Bell's yard and wherever else he went. And he was, one was caught, I don't know how many is out there, but one was caught around off the Red Road. And to that end, the map, I think, should include Cedar Creek Golf Course and then going over to Red Road where it was slept under one person's deck one night and then was caught in next to a neighbor's yard the next morning. Needless to say, full of ticks. So we will have that map for you to, I guess, negotiate a contract for that area that I mentioned. Okay. Also, 23, 26, 19th Street, I still see some cars on the, in the pipe shop area. Still see some cars there that the guy that supposedly went to court for, and some old U-Haul, and so he hadn't cleared it up, and I've been patiently waiting across from the thrift store. Is there any verdict on that?
I'll have to find out on that. I mean, it's been removing, and that's the last report I had, so I'll check.
Okay. And the other report I got in the pipe shop was 18th way between 21st and 22nd Avenue.
That road was paved, I know you remember Mr. Gill, but that road was paved, the street was paved, and last year, and I think, I'm getting complaints from Mr. Hines concerning the turn in and turn out, that they never got their turn in and turn out on that street. On the 18th way between 21st and 22nd Avenue. Also, on this past weekend, we attended the Cedar Creek Neighborhood Association meeting. It was very informative that they discussed the trash pickup, the property tax, which we talked about at our last meeting, and the McCullough Road centerline striping. And the one of the highlights was a park in the Carriage Hills area that we'll be talking about in the very near future. Matter of fact, their next neighborhood association meeting, they have their own association. So they would like to host, no, not host, but we're gonna have it here at City Hall, and they want me to invite the representatives of the Jefferson County, meaning everybody who represents them, they want to have their neighborhood, their association meeting here at City Hall, and we're going to try to accommodate them. And the last thing that we talked about at that meeting on Saturday was they have some inspection problems too, so I'm going to forward that to the mayor's office. But they want, Mr. Payton, they want to know for certain the proof of the bond that's secured. They don't want to be like other streets or roads. They want proof that the bonds are secured for the Cedar Creek to go. Is that possible? They won't any.
Is that a new development?
Yes, it is. Cedar Creek. They want proof that those bonds are secured. Is that something that they can?
I mean, we can, I'll get with Mr. Gilbert and Mr. Harmon and look at the bonds that are in place, but I think it's 100%. I mean, we all know that from 2008.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, those bonds, a lot of the bonds that were put up were by banks that ended up failing.
Yeah. Well, I think they're concerned with just right now. They ain't worried about, I mean, they worry about down the road, but they want to know if there's something in place now that when the last house is built, that we have bonds here that they will put up. These are questions that was asked at the association. And they're gonna bring them here to the next association meeting that we have here to the office.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, if somebody has a particular question about a particular bond, we can take a look at this. The Cedar Creek development, is it all, how many phases is it?
No, I wouldn't say. But, what's there now, they just want, some certainty that the bonds are, here. That we have.
That the bonds required by law are at City Hall, is the question. They want to know whether the bonds that are required by law or ordinance are at City Hall.
Yeah, a photo of them or whatever, something to prove to them that I said a photo of them or something to just show them physically that we have. They just don't want, they want, what can we have, or what they want, they don't want to be like Flint Park Circle and Coach House Lane and Coach Lane.
And that was during the period of 02 to 09, is that correct?
When that was done, Coach Lane.
I wasn't here, so.
Yeah. Lawrence. And this is Cedar Creek.
Cedar Creek Development.
I also like to announce that the Primer Public Risk Management Convention will be June 9th through the 12th in Orlando, Florida, and the Board of Directors, Amy and Municipal Workers Comp will be attending next week. That's all I have. That's enough. Thank you too.
Mr. President,
Council.
District 3 and 7 have community meetings together. Due to the weather for our second meeting, it had to be canceled and rescheduled for July the 25th at the First Missionary Baptist Church right there on Clarendon Avenue on the south side. That's July the 25th at 6 o'clock, from 6 until 8. And Mayor, we're still asking that the Bessemer utilities come out and explain to the senior citizens so that they can understand their bills and how they should pay their bills. And when I say that, we have some seniors, their bill is due on the 28th, but they think if they get their checks on the 3rd or the 4th of the month, it's okay if they pay their bill and they are not charged a late fee. And they're fussing about those late fees. Well, I would like the Bessemer utilities to come out and explain to them how it is. And I think I spoke with the mayor about that. And we will follow up with an email to the mayor's office. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Councilman.
I was just looking back with an email. Just wanted everyone to put it on their calendar to say today, but June the 25th at 9 a.m., there will be a groundbreaking at the Bessemer Airport for the new hangars. And there'll be a reception immediately following in the FBO building.
What time?
9 a.m. That's Tuesday the 25th at 9 a.m. Thought about that too. No, that's not.
Anyone else? Item 17, Ms. Taylor.
Citizen participation.
There are any citizens here that would like to come to the mic and be heard. We will entertain you at this time, and you'll have 3 minutes. Give your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Shirley Gare. My address is 2014 13 Way North, Bessemer, Alabama 35020. To Ms. City Councilors, I just have a few questions. And my first question is directed to you, Jesse. I know you've probably been a city council member for over 20-some years in our districts. You know, 20-some years, you know, my mom has been asking about the road that you just mentioned it tonight because she was here. But out of 20-some years, Pipe Shop has looked the same way it looked since you've been in office, except for that part. And the only thing that I know that you faithfully do down in Pipe Shop is that creeks get clean. And if I call you about an issue about that part, Pipe Shop look like a country town, a country little area. I've spoken to you several times about that place on 15th Street next to that service station. And I think a lot of people know where that place is.
This man got junk from the back of his house all the way toward 15th Street to the edge of 15th Street. He ain't selling nothing. He could constantly collect junk, and he constantly covers it up. My nephew bought a house next to my sister. The house was in bad shape. We told him to fix it up, or it's gonna get tore down. I know another friend that bought a house right in the back of me, on the corner of the four-way stop sign. We told them they gonna have to do something about that house.
The one that's around?
Yeah, the one that's wrapped. But the little mediocre things that not as much as of an eyesore is, everybody know where Classy Burger is. Everybody know where that service station across the street from Classy Burger. That house right next to Classy Burger. That man got jumped from the back of his house to the edge of the road, now they starting over across the street. All this junk. You fail to eat, and this is on a main street. This man's house is packed with stuff. You fail to even go to him to say not one word to this man about all this stuff that he constantly piles up. Don't get rid of nothing, don't sell nothing.
And you know I haven't gone in.
I know it haven't moved after the whole 20-some years you've been in office.
And you know I haven't gone in.
I don't know what you did, but I know
You
it
just said
hasn't
I
moved.
did.
Okay, I've addressed this issue to you more than one time. But you can make everybody else go and do what they need to do, and you threaten them, but you fail not to threaten this man to clean up. This is a huge pile of stuff. It ain't no just little pile. This man got a huge pile of stuff, from the roof of his house, all the way to the back of his house, all the way around his house, all the way to 15th Street. It has started across the street doing the same thing. It's an eyesore on 15th Street, on that main street in Pike Shop. You don't care nothing about Pike Shop. You only care about what you want to care about in Pike Shop, with these little mediocre things about taking some other house that ain't that bad to tell them to fix it up or tear it down. Fix it up or tear it down. But what are you doing about this man with all this stuff piled up? And the only thing if you have gone to, you know what he do? He cover it up. He ain't getting rid of it. You've been in office for 20-some years, and that stuff been there 20-some years. It's been, and then since they got pulled up over there, now they started across the street piling all that stuff up over there. 20-some years, that stuff been there. Okay, now when I had mentioned and said something to you about the man in the curve around there going toward the street department, you got them to clean up that stuff when they had all these farm animals around there. You got them to clean that up with no problem. So I'm trying to figure out, why is it that you can't get this man to clean up this big eyesore right there at a business, two businesses in a matter of fact? Why you can't get him to, why he just got to cover up his stuff and it's okay? But then, like I said, the only time you mention something to my mama, she's been carried here for I don't know how long, all these many years, you want to say something about her street when she been asking you about that street. You know what you told her? Because I was standing there when you told her.
Gas tax.
I'll see what I can do.
And I told her about gas tax funds. That's
No,
what
you did not?
Yes, I
I
did.
was standing right there.
Well, you must have wouldn't hear me.
I heard everything you said. You think I
And
did?
your time is up, but keep on going though.
Yeah, you was standing there and I heard every word you said. You said, I'm gonna see what I can do. And you've been telling her you gonna see what she can do
I
for the
still am.
longest time that she's been down
That's right.
there. And my other question was, you supposed to be the president of the city council member, I know that. But I noticed that every time Cynthia Dawson tell you what to do, she tell the lawyer what to do. She tell y'all what to do, and you abide by what she said to do. She might as well be the city council member. And if y'all feel like the mayor is not doing his job, run up against it. Take a seat. That's all you got to do, take a seat.
Thank you.
How you doing? My name is Laquita Hall, and I was concerned about the Legend Leave program. I had contacted Mr. Porter to help me with assistance for my light bill when I was out of work. They told me to bring the information in. I took it in, and I haven't heard anything from them.
name and address for the record, please?
2611th Avenue.
Okay, and you said you took,
I called for assistance with my light bill,
okay,
and he told me to bring in all the information.
to them?
Yes, sir, and I took it to him and heard him from.
Okay, well, we don't have any control over that. Not over the last 2 years.
Nice plant.
If she needed some assistance with her electric bill, tell her to stop at Bessemer, tell her we'll give her a list of organizations that might be able to help.
There was one of them that was on the list.
But we have several organizations.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
Mr. President,
Council Marshall?